You can either go to drive.google.com, or if you don't feel like remembering that, you can just click on this and go to Drive. With Google Drive, you can start creating lots of different types of forms and documents. You'll notice a lot of them are very familiar, right? Document, it's pretty much like Word. Presentation, PowerPoint, spreadsheet, Excel. Form, lots of different forms online like SurveyMonkey. And then drawing, that's new to me. But you can create different folders as well. I have a Neighbor Hess folder, folders for a lot of other things. And what's great is that you can see all the activity in those folders on the right hand side. Now to create a form, I'll just show you one that that I created. So earlier I created a Springfield form. So it's great because you can create a header. You can put a little subheader there. You can put an image up above, whatever image you'd like, which is really great. You can create different sections within the survey, and then they allow you to put multiple choice questions, yes or no type responses, survey questions that just require a one-word response, survey questions that require a multi-sentence response. Just like any survey that you do, you want to avoid double-barreled questions, so just asking two questions at once. You might think, oh yeah, I'm not going to do that, but then once you start doing it, you go, oh man, am I really asking more than one question? Like, do you like the windows and the doors?
Yes.
It may seem like a good question to ask, but then you have to think from the perspective of the person taking the survey. What if they like the windows but don't like the doors? Then they're forced to either look at it and, have their gears move in their head and maybe X out of it, or pick something that they may not have wanted to pick. So let's start with a new one. So I just hit File, New, and Form. And it's great. So they automatically start you out with choosing a theme. They have lots of fun themes that you can start with if you'd like. But I'm just going to go with the default. So one great thing about the forms is that throughout the form creation process, you can see how it's going to look, how the final product is going to look. If you scroll up here and click on View Live Form, then it'll show you exactly what it's going to look like to somebody answering these questions. So we can do that throughout. So we can do a title, just do test, form description. Now for this one, this is they start you off with multiple choice questions. And that's what we'll start with. So you start with your question title. The help text, it is a faded out portion of right underneath of the question title, which gives people a description of what the question means. So if it's not very straightforward, then you can put something in there to help people along. And then underneath, it automatically starts you out with these, so you can put option 1 if you want to add another option. You just click right here to add another option. So option 2, and you can keep on adding them, and you can type anything in if you'd like, A, B, C, so on and so forth, or something very specific, or you can just make these yes, no. And then another thing that's important that you guys have seen in any survey you've taken is making this a required question, so they cannot they cannot submit this survey unless this has been answered. So you can just check this box and make it required. You can choose your response destination. What this will do is once this form is live, it will create a Google spreadsheet, and it will have all of those responses for you. So all those different options that you saw, the Word looking document, the spreadsheet looking document, it would automatically create for you a spreadsheet document. So whenever you send this to like 50 people, whenever and everything is live, once they give you your responses and hit submit, it will automatically go to the spreadsheet that's created once you've made this live. So we talked about making this live, so you can either set it to accept responses or not accept responses. If you're all done, like maybe you had 47 out of 50 responses and you figure, okay, well, if I don't get those extra 3 responses, then it doesn't matter because it's already been too long. Then you can hit this, and it says the form has been turned off, which means anybody who has been given the link to the actual form, even if they were to fill it out, it's not live anymore, so you wouldn't be collecting any more responses. And you can turn it off and turn it back on really easily. To turn it back on, bam, you can just do it like that. Right underneath all of this, in form settings, this is really cool. So if you click on this, people who are doing the survey, they'll be able to see their progress as they complete the form. So let's say you had something that was, let's say you had something ridiculous like a 4-page, 20 question survey. There's nothing worse than doing that, especially when you can't see how many questions are in there, how far you have to go. So in doing this, it actually helps retention and increases your conversion rate. So if you wanted to add another type of question, so we've already added this type of question, you would just create one more by hitting add item. Now you can either hit add item right off the bat and then go to question type and choose from one of these, or you can just go to add item and then go to the arrow that's to the right of it, and then pick out which one you'd like. So there's the text that I mentioned before, so that's just like a 1-word response, like an email, and I'll click on that to show you. So their answer would show up right here. So this is the progress bar. I haven't put a question up here, but in the text response, it would be something like this that they would put in. So very straightforward. People know that they don't have to write a whole bunch. Obviously, once you add a question in here, then it would look more like an actual survey question. Let's just see. Plain text. I guess I need some time to save. Okay, so yeah, it would look something like this. If I added another one, again, these are the basic ones. I think these you really wouldn't have to worry about unless you wanted to add an image. Paragraph text, of course, their longer answer will be right here. So you've already chosen paragraph text. If you wanted to change it, then you could always go to question type and change what type it is. But we're just going to leave it like this. So we hit done. View live form. Ends up looking like this. So same thing with we already did multiple choice. So this is either or. Check boxes. So if someone has, let's say, I don't know, what would be a good multiple choice question that you guys have? What things are you most interested in a home? And then, I don't know, fireplace, new kitchen. I just hit the enter button, so I didn't have to hit click to add option. What was that? Fenced in yard?
Yeah, fenced in yard.
And if you wanted to add other, you could just add other. So I'm going to hit done. I'm not going to make this a required question. So I get all this. Hit the live form, and so people can click on all of them or none of them, and in the other section. I think that's really important for multiple choice questions, not so much for your yes or no questions. For the plain text and paragraph, I mean, they already have a space where they can put their thoughts. So you hit send form, and then it does a bunch of things for you. So it gives you the ability to share the link to the form. So you can copy this and then paste it into any email. If it's Outlook, if it's Yahoo, if it's Gmail, doesn't matter. Just as long as you copy this link and then you send it out to people, then they will get this. So you can add this to your canned response if you'd like. Okay. You can also go down here to send form via email. So if you already know the email addresses of the people that you'd like to send it to, then you can do it directly from here. You can start typing in email addresses. You can also customize the message. And so that's how it's done.